Welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. BYD Auto has just showcased its second offering for the Indian market. It's a 5-seater electric vehicle which is powered by a 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and it offers an AREI certified driving range of 521 kilometers. Tuhin has all the details.
Now, BYD has been slowly but quietly building its presence in the Indian market, and the E6 electric MPV is a competent one that has received quite a good response from buyers. But it's this SUV, the BYD Atto 3, that will truly put the spotlight on this electric car brand. Now, the BYD Atto 3 should compete with electric SUVs like the MG ZS EV and the Hyundai Kona. Although in terms of dimensions, it's significantly larger. It's longer, wider and taller than both those SUVs. And sort of enhancing that is this new sort of design theme from BYD. It's the Dragon 3.0 design philosophy that they call it. And it's much more expressive than what we've seen from the E6. So there's a lot of sharp cuts, angles, contrasting shapes and colors. Like you can see with this very sharp LED headlamp design, this full width light bar, and these sort of ridges in the bumper, and which are kind of functional. They do help with the aerodynamic efficiency of the Atto 3, which is quite an impressive 0.2. This quite muscular theme continues to the side, where you have this bulging bodywork and some clearly defined shapes. The charge port too is conveniently placed on the fender. The C-pillar motif is again an eye-catching one, working with a sharply tapering glass area. The rear is distinctive with the full-width, sharply cut LED light bar. The big BYD lettering though will polarize opinion, but the rest of the design is again taut and well proportioned. The boot is a large one, but misses out on a spare wheel with the placement of the battery electronics. Now, as sort of conventional and as sharp as the outside is, the interiors are like something we've never ever seen before in a car. I mean, it's very organic, it's very sort of humanoid in its design with these curves and ridges, and it's very different to what you would expect in a mainstream SUV of any kind. But having said that, the level of quality and fit is actually reasonable, at least from this very quick impression. Most of the surfaces are soft to touch here. But of course, there's an endless array of quirks and features. Yes, of course, the car itself is very well equipped. But just in terms of design, for example, these vents, they function like this. They open and close like this. And this large 12.8-inch touchscreen, I mean, you can rotate it from your steering wheel, such as in this way. Or, for example, these door handles, you know, in the way they open and close. The doors itself feel substantial, feel well built, so that's not an issue. Or, for example, these holders for the cups, which you can sort of play music on. So the Atto 3 will definitely be a conversation starter when you sort of pick people up in it for the first time. Aside from ventilated seats, the Atto 3 gets most creature comforts you'd like in a car. There's a large panoramic sunroof, dual zone climate control, even an NFC card key and a CN95 air filter, as well as ambient lighting. Also unique is a vehicle to load function that supports up to 3.3 kilowatt. The gear lever too is a quirky aircraft style one with a bright starter switch. The seats feel large and supportive, and the footwells are large too. The same sense continues at the rear with the great leg and knee room, as well as the nicely contoured seats. The battery pack is about 60.5 kilowatt hours, which gives it a 420 kilometers of WLTP range, which increases to 541 when you look at the ARAI figure. Now, charging the Atto 3, it will charge it up to 80 kilowatts of DC fast charging, which will get the battery pack to 80% charge in about 50 minutes. And you also get a 7 kilowatt hour AC charger bundled in with this, which will charge the Atto 3 in about 9.5 to 10 hours. Another big highlight is safety. There's a full suite of level 2 ADAS functions in the Atto 3, 7 airbags and a 360-degree camera. The Atto 3 has just received a 5-star Euro NCAP rating as well. Now, bookings for the BYD Atto 3 have already opened. Deliveries of the first 500 cars begin in January 2023, and you can reserve one of them for a 50,000 rupee deposit. Prices haven't been announced just yet, but we expect that to come maybe before deliveries start.
I have to admit, I've only seen such cool interiors in concept cars, but I'm really glad that BYD Atto 3 has so much to offer, and as Tuhit mentioned, it's definitely a conversation starter. We'll be back after a very short break to bring you details about the feature-rich Tata Primer 5530. Stay with us, you're watching Overdrive.